Running a small business is challenging in many regards, right? You have operational challenges, you have staffing challenges, you have technology challenges, and you have marketing challenges, you have business accounting challenges, all kinds of stuff you got to deal with and things like that. So, in this episode, what I want to do is I want to talk about some of the more common marketing challenges that a small business owner encounters and how they could address it. Because I've worked with a lot of small business owners in my career or running this company and also, as a consultant. And I've come across these common challenges. And so I've listed them in my episode today. I'm going to talk about how, when it comes to digital marketing or marketing in general, how you can, address limited budget, having no marketing plan, finding your target audience, measuring your ROI, building brand awareness, using social media, and also addressing poor online visibility. So I'm going to go through all of these points and give you some pointers on what you can do to overcome these challenges and not make this a thing that holds your business back, because marketing is important and these challenges are not insurmountable. Sometimes it's just a matter of creative thinking and finding ways around it so that you can get it done. So with that in mind, let's talk about these challenges and how you can overcome them. Welcome to the latest episode of Corner Your Market. I'm your host, Silas Kimide. In this podcast, I talk about all things digital marketing, from website design and development to SEO and PPC, as well as paid advertising, email marketing, social media, and anything in between. If you're a small business owner, a marketing manager in a company, or an entrepreneur, this podcast is for you. So tune in every Thursday at 10 a.m. You'll gain some practical insights, new strategies, tactics, and tools that will help you grow your business. To subscribe, go to corneryourmarketpodcast.com and select the podcast app of your choice. Then you can hit subscribe within those apps. That again is corneryourmarketpodcast.com. Also, don't forget to like and share our individual episodes. You can also leave a review in the app once you've listened to one of our episodes. All right, one of the main challenges that I hear when I talk about digital marketing with any small business owner is budget, right? I have yet to come across a company or a business that has an unlimited budget, or very rarely do I come across a small business owner that says money is no object when it comes to digital marketing or marketing in general, right? So since I haven't come across those folks yet, what I wanted to do was talk a little bit about how you can overcome your limited budget. It's not the end of the world. I mean, digital marketing does have its costs. There are things that can be expensive. It's an elastic budget, right? You can spend as much as you like, or you can spend, very frugally, and you can get quite a good return on things. So even though you might think that there's a budget limitation, and you think your competitor has an unlimited budget or spending a ton of money, that shouldn't really inhibit you in your ability to do some marketing for your company. So the way that I approach this is, let's look at some of the things that you could be doing for your business, right? Let's look at, what can you be doing for your business, and let's prioritize those, right? So new website, maybe you want to do some PPC, maybe you want to do some content marketing, whatever it is. Let's prioritize those. And then let's kind of start to price them out a little bit. They're not as expensive as you might think. So for instance, after you prioritize, you could start focusing on like the low cost but high impact tactics. I've actually done an episode on the 15, relatively low effort but high impact things that you could do. So at this point, if you want to go back and listen to that episode, I totally understand, as long as you come back, right? I totally understand that episode has a lot of information in it that would be very, very useful for somebody that says that they have a low budget, or they have budgetary challenges, or they're not looking to spend that kind of money. In my experience, there's a couple of things that are relatively low cost and have a high impact, that can have a high impact on your business. One is SEO and content marketing. If you really think about it, SEO doesn't have to be very expensive. What you could do is you could use a service like SEMrush or Moz or Ahref, RF. I don't know how you say their name. It's just really weird. It's backwards for that HTML code. I'm sure some dude thought it was kind of cool, but I've been around them for 15 years and I can still not say their name. So I don't know how good that is as a brand. But anyway, you could use their scanning tools, relatively inexpensive. Use their scanning tools to go through your website, right? Have them scan your website. You'll obviously have to identify certain keywords that you wanna rank for in order to do that. So go ahead and find those keywords that are useful to you. Scan the website, and then usually those tools will come back to you and will say, okay, you need to make these changes in this page. You need to make these changes in this page, and things like that. And a lot of it doesn't require a programmer or a developer. In fact, many of them don't. A lot of them are just common sense type stuff. And what you could do is, one Friday afternoon, you could just kind of take some time, log into your website, and make those changes that they're recommending that you make. And that would be a very high impact, relatively low effort type of solution, right? One thing then you could actually do is maybe, you don't have to do it all in 1 month. Obviously, you got to run a business, but you could invest a little bit of time on writing some articles. And again, not too hard to do. You could maybe find some topics that you feel like would be relevant based on the keywords that you've identified. And then what you could do is you could write it yourself, or you could go on Upwork or some of these other places and have some professional writers write, I don't know, 10, 15 articles over the next 6 months, and then just, again, put it on the website, scan it with these tools. And if you're on WordPress, use SEO Yoast. And what that could do is that could really make it easy for you. If you're limited on budget, it's kind of like a DIY type situation. You can really make an impact on the bottom line, because if you can really do a good job on your rankings, then obviously you're going to get traffic to your site. You're going to get phone calls, right? So just because you have a limited budget doesn't mean you can't do these things. Another thing is to be very strategic on the social media that you're doing, targeting it specifically for the type of customers that you're going after. We'll talk about that in a little bit. So what I'm trying to say is it doesn't have to be expensive and it doesn't have to be too involved. The second thing I hear, challenges that they hear, stems from the fact that a small business doesn't really have a marketing plan. Many small business owners I talk to are just shooting from the hip. They're just doing what they know to do. They're good dentists. They're just doing their dentistry. They're good vets. They're just doing their vets. They're good attorneys. They're just fighting case law after case law. They really haven't thought through the marketing part, right? And it's not a budget issue. This is more of a time issue. I think this is more of a setting aside some time to, evaluate your business, think through your business. One thing I'm surprised is I talk to small business owners and I'll ask them, well, where do you want your business to be in 2 years or 1 year? And a lot of times they haven't thought that far ahead. So just even simply thinking a little bit further ahead and saying, in 2 years, I want to be, let's say you're a $2 million business right now. I want to be $8 million, right? So if you're going to be $8 million in 2 years, how much increased sales do you need? What is the unit of your production, right? How, like that one client is $2,000. I don't know. Just do the math. And then you can start to say, oh, okay, so I need to get maybe 100 new customers in the next 2 years. Okay, where am I usually getting my customers? I'm getting it through these channels. Okay, so maybe I need to apply a little bit of effort in these channels. Maybe I could try to improve those by 25%, because those new customers are not all going to come through one mechanism, and they're not going to come through just one way, right? So if you can just think through the business a little bit like that and build out components, stepping stones to get you there, that'll have a big impact on your business, right? So that's the second thing I hear is lack of a marketing plan. They just don't have a marketing plan. So define some goals, outline some KPIs, determine how you're going to do it, and you'll have a plan. It really shouldn't be that difficult. The third thing that I come across is a lot of times small business owners, they really don't have a clear idea of their target audience. I mean, you don't have to do some big market survey. You don't have to go out and, deploy McKinsey or some big fancy marketing company to come and tell you who your clients are, to be honest with you. If you've been in business for 3 or 4 years, you should start to just talk to your clients in a different way to get that information, right? So let's say your dental office, maybe you need to go through and figure out what kind of, services have you been doing and who am I doing it for? And when do they come and where do they live and where are they coming from? That information's already there. Maybe you're a law firm. You can do the same thing, right? Get a really clear idea of who your target audience is. And that's, again, not a challenging thing to overcome necessarily, but a lot of times, one of the reasons why small businesses struggle with really overcoming that hurdle is they really don't have a really good idea of who their target audience is. So I would recommend doing that. Another challenge in marketing for a lot of small business owners is they don't know which advertising channel or what is driving their ROI. Is the stickers that they're handing out to everybody driving an ROI? Is it the Google listing that's driving the ROI? Is it the squeegee boards, the squeegee things that you're handing out at trade shows? Is that driving customers? I know I'm just trying to be silly here. Okay, guys. I know that little squeegee thing is not a squeaky thing or whatever, that duck that you squeeze is not going to drive clients, but it brings brand awareness. So what I would do is I would kind of maybe work your system a little bit, see what kind of, things that you can collect when you're engaging with clients to figure out, okay, this is what they did to get here. This is how they got here. They responded to this ad. They came from Facebook. They came from Google. They came from LinkedIn. This is what happened to them. Simple tracking things like UTMs on your URLs could make a big impact. Just being creative in the way in which you ask and the way in which you collect that data could have a very big impact on your ability to measure, right? Because too many times, some of our clients have just quit on platforms before really having a data-driven approach to saying this is working or this is not working, right? So, and then another challenge so this is the fifth challenge, right? So we're on the fifth challenge. In the fifth challenge, I would say is brand awareness, trying to build brand awareness. It doesn't have to be television advertising. It doesn't have to be newspaper advertising, but just whether it's through email or through your social media, just pushing your name out there, not just about, okay, we do home services, but it's like, no, AC for you, let's get that name out there, so just push your name, get your logo on your truck, get your logo business cards, hand them out, make people aware of who you are. That's really what it is, right? Brand awareness. And so I would just invest in some channels that you feel like would be a good way. Again, go back to my number one point about finding some low impact but high ROI type platforms and type channels, and just try to establish your brand awareness that way, right? And then the sixth challenge is social media. I think for some reason, small business owners have it in their head that they have to do social media. I mean, look, social media is a good channel and it could work, but I think a lot of times I see ineffective use of social media, people just throwing things around here and there and just not really doing a good job, doing it for 3 months, stopping for 3 years, doing it for 2 months, stopping for 3 months, and not doing anything consistent. One of the things that the social media algorithms love is consistency. So if you can drive content on a consistent basis, and you can get, it's just that I believe in that verse that says, do not despise small beginnings. And I think too many people are just despising small beginnings. My YouTube channel, I have another YouTube channel besides the one that you're watching this on. That YouTube channel has been around for 14 years. And I haven't really done much to it, but every once in a while I've been putting things at it. I've kept it open. I've been doing it. And I realized that I have several thousand followers there all of a sudden. And it's like, wow, I didn't realize that. But it didn't happen overnight. It takes time to get these things through. So don't give up on it too quickly. Don't do it ineffectively. Even if you do, 3 posts a week for the next 28 months, right? That's still better than doing 20 posts a week for the next 3 months, right? So just putting it out there. So develop a content calendar, focus on quality over quantity, and engage with your audience authentically, and just, be consistent, like the little engine that could, right? So, and then the 7th challenge that I come across a lot of times is poor online visibility. That's a main complaint. I kind of talk about that a little bit, but online visibility, you just have to create content, right? Optimize your website for local SEO. Make sure the major, business listings are covered, like your Google My Business listing, Apple listing, Bing listing. Maybe you need to be on Yelp and Facebook. Get those listings covered, and just get your website really well optimized and throw out content on a regular basis, kind of like what I told you earlier. And that will help you get your online visibility to a higher level. And it'll just bring up, it'll just no longer be a challenge for you. So to wrap up, this episode was focused mostly on the challenges that small business owners face when it comes to doing digital marketing. It's not always budgetary related. I guess I should have made that point earlier. Some of the 6 points that I covered are not budget related. Those are just ways in which you're not really focused, or you're not really doing what you should be doing. So the common ones that I talked about in this episode are limited budget, having no marketing plan, not knowing your target audience, not measuring your ROI, building brand awareness, using poor use of social media, and then just a bad online visibility. So hopefully this wasn't just an episode of talking about problems and I gave you some solutions. If you'd like to learn more, you can always reach out to me, leave a comment, send me an email. But if not, I hope this episode gave you something to think about and things that you can overcome. So with that, go and apply these tips and tricks and get your marketing to the next level. So happy marketing to you.
If you're a small business owner, a marketer in a company, or an entrepreneur, this podcast is for you. You'll become better educated and informed when it comes to digital marketing. And if you implement the strategies, tactics, and tools I discuss in this podcast, your business will grow and prosper. To subscribe, go to corneryourmarketpodcast.com. That again is corneryourmarketpodcast.com. You can also search for Corner Your Market in Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcast, and you can subscribe through those apps. Also, don't forget to like and share our individual episodes. You can also leave a review. Finally, I would love to hear from you, so if you have any questions, feedback, or general comments about the topics I discuss, feel free to send me an email. I will be sure to share and discuss your feedback on the air if it will benefit our listening audience. You can write to me at connect@corneryourmarketpodcast.com. Just put listener comment in the subject line. That email again is connect@corneryourmarketpodcast.com. Thanks for listening. I look forward to being back next week. Until then, be good and do good.